Finally, New York Times editor makes painful three-word Trump confession. Poor research and inaccurate statements are all too known to reporters on the left. The New York Times, a liberal media outlet, took accountability for its defective reporting the other day. Times reporter, Jason Stallman, stated I'm an idiot in efforts to redeem himself from his careless news story. Via IJR. Stallman shared photos that made it look like the turnout for Donald Trump's Super Bowl victory event was less popular than Barack Obama's. The Twitter account of the New England Patriots posted various pictures that proved Stallman's report to be false. After proof was provided, the faulty New York Times reporter came clean about his mistake. In addition to admitting he was an idiot, he also said bad tweet by me. Terrible tweet. I wish I could say it's complicated, but no, this one is pretty straightforward. I'm an idiot. It was my idea, it was my execution, it was my blunder. I made a decision in about 4 minutes that clearly warranted much more time. Once we learned more, we tried to fix everything as much as possible, as swiftly as possible, and as transparently as possible. Of course, at that point the damage was done. I just needed to own it. You're right, Jason. You're an idiot. Along with your fellow fake news reporters at the New York Times. You've been found out, and have taken accountability for your actions. There is nothing virtuous in this. People are praising the reporter by acknowledging his attempt to take accountability for his actions. Why should we praise a reporter for doing what he is expected to do? This is what he should be doing. He was wrong, and now he should be fired. This isn't the first time the left have used crowd sizes to demean Donald Trump. This story was intentional. They just weren't expecting to be called out on it, but in the Trump era, reporters cannot get away with their lies. Patriots owner Robert Kraft and coach Bill Belichick are known Trump supporters. Tom Brady was also spotted at one point wearing a Make America Great Again hat. Clearly, the New England Patriots are a team that don't hide their support for Trump. Via Washington Post. The New York Times knows this, and that's exactly why they created the story. It's no secret that the Times enjoys ripping apart Republicans. They're not really known for anything else these days. The Patriots quickly defended Trump, and the turnout on the White House lawn that day. Nearly as many people showed up to meet with Trump as did Obama. The difference was a measly 2 Patriots. The pictures prove that this story was irresponsibly published. We need to hold the mainstream media accountable for their deceit. Do you believe that the New York Times is completely fake news? Let America know. Now, the public can see for themselves just how sneaky and conniving leftist news media outlets are. What do you think of the New York Times attempt to mock Trump? Share this on Facebook and let us know, because we want to hear your voice. Exposed, anti-Trump mayor connected to major terrorist group. Should he be arrested? Berkeley, California has long been a safe space for far-left nonsense. However, since the election of Donald Trump to the office of President of the United States, the city has become a nightmarish battleground for unhinged liberals. Patriotic conservatives trying to practice their right to free speech are assaulted by the violent far-left groups on a regular basis. One of the main reasons for Berkeley's descent into chaos is the fact that the city's mayor, Jesse Arreguin, belongs to the far-left group By Any Means Necessary, or BAM. Via the Daily Caller. BAM, which takes its name from the anti-white radical, and former gay prostitute, Malcolm X, is closely allied with Antifa, the black masked thugs who have consistently initiated violence against pro-Trump crowds. Arreguin's use of political tactics might explain why the Berkeley Police Department has consistently stood by and done nothing as innocent people were struck, assaulted, and almost killed for exercising their right to free speech. Via W&D. Arreguin's connections to radical leftism may also explain why several conservative figures and their allies were arrested for less than criminal actions, such as approaching the unhinged leader of a Milo protest, Yvette Fulrica. Via We Are Change. Fortunately, the battle for Berkeley is entering a new phase. Following the January riot that forced Berkeley to cancel a planned talk by Milo Yiannopoulos, Right-wingers have descended on Berkeley en masse, in order to beat the left at its own game. On March 4, 2017, a planned pro-Trump rally was defended by Kyle Chapman, aka Based Stickman, who thwarted Antifa abuse with physical force. On April 15, the Berkeley police again stood idle as Antifa protesters attacked right-wing demonstrators. Luckily, unlike politicians in Washington, the right-wing base is full of people with spines. One of them, Identity Evropa founder and former U.S. Marine Nathan D'Amigo, struck a gross Antifa goon nicknamed Moldalox. Moldalox has been revealed to be a porn star who bragged that she would bring back 100 Nazi scalps from the tax day protest. Via PJ Media. The upcoming speech by Ann Coulter in Berkeley is sure to draw more violence. This is a good thing, because the more the right keeps fighting back against left-wing terrorism, the weaker Antifa, and other groups funded by George Soros, will become. A more visible, and more visibly courageous right can win back the streets. This will go a long way towards further demoralizing the left. Next, we should remove our drag queen from office, officially label Antifa as a terrorist group, and start the process of re-examining the credibility of our tenured and untenured professors. Should Jesse Arreguin be removed from office? Please share the story on Facebook and tell us what you think, because we want to hear your voice. Breaking, top Democrat announces sick Islamic plan for Trump fans. It's war. We live in a time where free speech is constantly under attack. Political correctness will be the death of us. Popular Democrat Howard Dean weaponized his First Amendment rights to attack Americans for using theirs. Howard Dean took his thoughts to Twitter. He is silencing Islamic critics, and using the law to close in on people he disagrees with. His tweet was instigated by Ann Coulter. Coulter is known for holding terrorists accountable in the most brash and honest ways. She uses her freedom of speech to spread awareness of this continuing terrorist epidemic. Dean is conflating critique of Islamist terror with hate speech. This is a highly dangerous comparison to make. Something wholly honest and true could be another person's definition of hateful words. Via Jihad Watch. The label of hate speech could be placed upon any fact, idea, or opinion that makes someone uncomfortable. Equating criticism with hate speech is absolutely insane. Patriots, is it wrong to speak out against radical Islam? No, we need to keep our fellow Americans safe. Our First Amendment right states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Via PolitiFact. Analyzing and interpreting radical Islamic terror is fair game. The First Amendment blatantly conveys that not a single religion is withheld from our right of speech. It has this basic right that keeps our country honest and fair. Freedom of speech allows Americans to perform their own checks and balances system. We have the right to decipher and explain potential threats. Howard Dean's attempt to take this right away is unpatriotic and anti-American. He is just like every other insane liberal out there. They are always trying to start a war over anything that offends them. If it's war he wants, he should know that it's a war he can win. We know our laws. Liberals like Howard Dean must be stopped. Their attempts to control us are pathetic. All he and his comrades concern themselves with is slandering patriotic conservatives, and retreating from their own hypocrisy. Patriots, we want to be silenced or defeated. Conservatives everywhere are ready to call out our enemies. We want to be dissuaded from speaking the truth. We will continue to voice our concerns over radical Islamic terrorists. Those anti-American thugs hate us, and we will not forget that. We will not change our opinions for Howard Dean. What do you think of Howard Dean's attempt to silence free speech? Share this article on Facebook because we want to hear your voice. 0. Breaking, as thousands march across America, Trump issues massive response. President Donald Trump issued an Earth Day statement Saturday that said his administration seeks what's best for the environment and for the American workers living in it. Trump's message came on the same day as the March for Science, in which activists opposed to Trump's environmental agenda said public policy must follow the dictates of researchers. Trump has earned the wrath of many Democrats and liberals by upending the environmental policy of former President Barack Obama. Trump has also vowed to reduce the regulatory burden federal agencies place on businesses. However, Trump said in his statement that science is essential to sound policy. Rigorous science is critical to my administration's efforts to achieve the twin goals of economic growth and environmental protection, he said. However, Trump also noted that for science to be valuable, it cannot be the tool of partisan agendas. My administration is committed to advancing scientific research that leads to a better understanding of our environment and of environmental risks. As we do so, we should remember that rigorous science depends not on ideology, but on a spirit of honest inquiry and robust debate, he said. President Donald Trump issued an Earth Day statement Saturday that said his administration seeks what's best for the environment and for the American workers living in it. Trump's message came on the same day as the March for Science, in which activists opposed to Trump's environmental agenda said public policy must follow the dictates of researchers. Trump has earned the wrath of many Democrats and liberals by upending the environmental policy of former President Barack Obama. Trump has also vowed to reduce the regulatory burden federal agencies place on businesses. However, Trump said in his statement that science is essential to sound policy. Rigorous science is critical to my administration's efforts to achieve the twin goals of economic growth and environmental protection, he said. However, Trump also noted that for science to be valuable, it cannot be the tool of partisan agendas. My administration is committed to advancing scientific research that leads to a better understanding of our environment and of environmental risks. As we do so, we should remember that rigorous science depends not on ideology, but on a spirit of honest inquiry and robust debate,